I'm Mia. I'm the new host of the Hard Hat Show. Some people say I'm sexier than Jeremy Goldkorn. You think? But seriously, everyone is sexy in their own way. That's why I'm one of the new contributors to the show that brings you news, attitudes, and interviews about China. There are few places in the world that are more mysterious than North Korea. Today we're going to meet Nick Bonner, a filmmaker who has managed to get inside the DPRK. We visited Bonner in his office to discuss his latest film, which is about American defectors to North Korea. It is from this Beijing office that Bonner runs Koryo Tours, the company through which he has been leading tours to North Korea since 1993.
This is sort of various collection on Korea. These are the films, fantastic. These are the lads from the game of their lives. This is Pyong scoring the goal against the Italians. The Italians had never forgiven him for that.
Bonner's first film, The Game of Their Lives, tells the story of the 1966 World Cup, where the North Korean team shocked the world by beating the powerful Italians.
Italy a goal down to North Korea.
It includes the first interviews with team members since their moment of glory in 1966. His second film, A State of Mind, is about North Korea's incredible mass games and follows two young gymnasts as they prepare for the games. In addition to the spectacle of the mass games, it offers a rare look into family life in Pyong Yang.
This is the South Korean poster advertising the film, and that was made us very proud to see, because that was the first time that the South Koreans had an inside look into the life, sort of daily life of someone in Pyong Yang.
Bonner also was an owner of Poachers, one of the first expat bars in Beijing in the mid-90s.
This actually is part of the old Poachers bar, where if there was a fight, you used to sort of leap up and sort of go off and try and sort of break Russians apart from American servicemen, which was never really a very good idea. But this is part of that bar. Many happy days serving beer here to all sorts of people.
Hi Nick.
Mia, hello.
It's a great honor to interview today.
Thank you very much.
So tell us about your latest film.
Latest film is basically it's on an American defector, a guy who in 1962 decided to leave the Western world and crossed across the most heavily fortified border in the world from South Korea to North Korea and was never seen again. Having said never seen again, he was seen in 2003 when I went in and we were given permission to film him and his life.
I was fed up with my childhood, my marriage, my military life, everything. I was finished. There's only one place to go. On August 15th at noon, in broad daylight when everybody was eating lunch, I hit the road. Yes, I was afraid. Am I going to live or die? Everybody wants to live. If I say I did not, lying. But at that time, life wasn't so precious. And when I stepped into the minefield and I seen it with my own eyes, I started sweating. I crossed over, looking for my new life.
And I'd always heard about him. He's actually quite well known in North Korea. He's quite a famous actor, but no Westerner had seen him. And in 2003, after asking for about 10 years, I was eventually taken into the people we worked with into one of the film studios, and there in front of me was Joe Dresnok. And we sort of say, if you'd met Elvis Presley, it would have been less surprising, because this guy to me is, I've heard all about him since '93, never seen pictures of him or a few old pictures, and there he was. He's a big man as well, and it's his story as well. At the time, there was another defector there, a guy called a chap called Jenkins, and he was the four defectors left in the '60s, and Jenkins while we were there filming, he actually went back to Japan. He was married to a Japanese woman who'd been abducted, and they had 2 kids. So we came in at an amazing time. I mean, it's phenomenal. You imagine it. I mean, these people disappeared from the Western world in '62, never to be heard from again until sort of, well, basically this documentary's been made.
The great leader, Comrade Kim Il-sung, said, "We will take them along with us to communism." They might be a different race, they might be a different color, but God damn it, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna learn their way of life. I did everything I could, learning the language, learning the customs, learning their greetings, their life. I gotta think like this, I gotta act like this. I've studied their Juche ideal, their revolutionary history, their lofty virtues about the great leader.
And how do you get access?
Access has been, I mean, it's been a long struggle, but in '93 was the first time I visited Korea, and then slowly got to know Koreans and found out actually they're just like us, put legs on, trousers on one leg at a time, and just normal sort of blokes muck around, and some people you like better than the others, and ended up with a great bunch of Korean friends who've helped us throughout the whole filmmaking process. And they introduced me to this one woman in Korea whose father brought colour film to North Korea, and he's quite a famous cinematographer there, and she's helped us with all 3 films. And with her, she's got the permissions and everything. She trusts us implicitly, so that was lucky. So a lot of things through slow building process, getting to know people, and also I think the Koreans say to us, we don't necessarily like what you film, but at least you don't lie. And I think that's been the big trick. We certainly do things that are very sensitive. We ask very sensitive questions, but within the parameters of the film that we're making. So, for example, with the players of '66, we had to ask. They were supposedly sent to prison camps. We had to ask about that. The second film on the girls, we asked about the arduous march, this time of starvation in Korea, and on this new film, it was all about the abductees and various other bits and bobs. But in fact, I'd far rather work in Korea. In Korea, I've never had any problems with business and with anything we're doing. They're very straight, which is very bizarre, very, very upfront. I had a brilliant working relation with them, where you hear the stories that have been going on with mates in Beijing, like opening up magazines and then finding that they can't, their locks to their office are closed, and there's this, that, and the other. Those horror stories haven't happened or haven't yet happened in Korea. So it's been relatively, and fascinating. And Korea's been fascinating, but Beijing's a wild place. It's on one hand, it's a contrast. It's a dump, and it's the most exciting place. It's got the filthiest air in the world. Sometimes it's got, relatively good air. But living in Beijing is just, you can do anything. It's like being a student but with adult stories. So you can set this up and continue, and blah 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 blah. What am I on about?
And how can we see the film Crossing the Line?
That's a very good question. You make these films and you really do sweat. It's blood, sweat and tears, and various other bits and pieces that we won't go into. There's a download actually from the site. We've got a website called crossingthelinefilm.com, and there's a 16-minute interview with Dan and myself. That's gives you sort of an entree into the whole thing. But we'll soon be having DVDs ready, so you can contact us. It's going to be being broadcast in South Korea. Japan's coming up. Australia it's been on, but America, well, we're waiting for that one. And Britain it's been on. So come on, George Bush, get this film shown whilst you're on the roll.
Wow, that guy is old school Beijing. I really want to see his film now. Hopefully, it'll be in theaters across America and China coming soon. Bye!